Nam Bande Jagat Guru. Namaste.
Namaste.
Respected chair of this session, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, I want to share something with you. But when yesterday I arrived, the organizers introduced me to other guests as a future president of India. So I wanted to tell you that when first time Mahatma Gandhi came to South Africa, he was just 23 years old. And when he left South Africa and went back to India, he was a complete changed man, and you know how Mahatma Gandhi has changed the future of India. And my present age is 23. So you can understand what I can do after getting back to my country. Secondly, I want to thank the organizer for inviting me here and to lead the legacy which was once led by Mahatma Gandhi and Swami Vivekananda. So thank you so much. Now I just come to my presentation. My name is Ketan. I am from University of Delhi, India. My topic is Ancient Indian Gurukul System Developing Ethical Human Beings. I will directly come to the topic due to less time. Okay. So before understanding ancient Gurukul system, first we have to know about the indigenous knowledge. Professor M. Subramanian already told us yesterday about it, but I want to add about something in it. So what is knowledge for us? Knowledge is not just knowing something. I know if I switch off this mic, my voice will not be heard for you. But knowledge is beyond just knowing. It's about from knowing to understanding. Like I know this mic, I am speaking, this mic is capturing my voice, then it's going to the system. System is controlling my voice, it's making the volume high, low, and then from the speaker you are hearing my voice. So knowledge is not just knowing, it's the distance which we travel from knowing to understanding. What I say, it's an indigenous knowledge in our Indian context. So when I talk about indigenous knowledge, it is a divide of anything which is inversely proportional to sustainable development. The present education system which we say can harm the environment, like the present example is global warming. But the indigenous knowledge system, when we talk about it, believe in cosmic balance in every perspective. Indigenous knowledge system with respect to India. When I say with respect to India, then we have to understand the three parts. What is the purpose of education? We have to understand it. The purpose of education is knowledge, is skill, behavior. These all three are interrelated. Like you should have knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, then you will not be having a skill. Or without knowledge, if you don't have a skill, then you don't find job. So knowledge is important. Skill is also important. Then thirdly is behavior. A person having knowledge and skill, but he don't know how to behave in different situations. Will we find him a good human being for society? No. So all these things are interrelated to each other, and all these are interrelated and helping each other to achieve an ideal human being which can devote to the society. Then humans should have three types of sensitivity. What are these? The first one is his emotions should be wide. He should have the ability to express himself freely through his senses. Secondly is respect for his hard work. When I say hard work, from growing the crop to the cultivation and finally consuming as a food. Yesterday I feel very bad when I left some food in my plate, because I realized that the food which came to my plate, how it has came. So many people have worked for it, so many people have given their contribution in it, and finally it came to me, and I am leaving it, not eating it. So it's like we have to understand the meaning of hard work. And lastly is collectivism. Collectivism is always important because all these activities should have participation of people. His work is for the community, no place for individuality in an activity. So the sensitivity is correctly, like collectivism is very important part of it. Then I say every country has one message, one destiny, one mission. I know my country's mission, I know my country's destiny. Do you know about yours? I ask you. Have you ever think of it? What's the destiny, what's the message, what's the mission the South African people are having. So we should make this feeling inculcated in our children and youth, so that they can know what's the mission of their country and what they are working for. Thirdly, if I talk about India's indigenous knowledge system, it's of four types. The main four pillars of India's indigenous knowledge system is dharma, it's called duty, earth, it's money, calm, pleasure, and moksha, emancipation. The four pillars of Indian democracy. When I say these four pillars, then dharma, the first pillar, dharma, is very important, because the second and third one is governed by the first pillar. You are earning money and you are having pleasure, but it should be according to the dharma, according to your duty, what you have to play for the society. And lastly is emancipation. Emancipation may be out of order, out of day-to-day routine, but that blissfulness and that feeling of satisfaction is observed when every sphere of life it becomes the fullest of oneself and resultant to the people around you at large. Anything is earned from the rightful deed. A rightful deed meaning necessarily will go into rightful deed, and said as before, at the cost repetition shall benefit the society at large. So we should work for the society, not the individual. That the present system is making in a society focusing on individual. Then before going to the ancient Indian Gurukul system, we have to understand what is the meaning of dharma. Sorry, there is no English word for dharma. It is not sometimes people use it religion, but it's not the Englishman saying not religion or dharma. Dharma is above religion. So I'll tell you how is this word is derived. This word is derived from the word dhiri, which means to hold or support or bear. Like I'll tell you, like the fire, dharma of fire. What is the dharma of fire? Its dharma is to ignite. And when it is used in the right way, then it can propel the rocket from Earth to Mars. But if it is used against its dharma and it's used in the nuclear weapon, then it can cause mass destruction. So everything which has the law of nature in it is governed by the dharma. Our great scholar from India, Sri Gurukul, said about dharma. Dharma is in the day-to-day life. He explains dharma as without the interference of external punishment system, controlling the selfishness, lightening of moral ethical value among us, and accepting the diversity in nature, including the way of living. Dharma is above God. Even God are governed by dharma. So dharma is governing all of us. Then, secondly, the roots of the indigenous knowledge is what's the roots of indigenous knowledge of any country. If I say about India, India's roots of indigenous knowledge is to liberate the soul from the larger interest of the society. And what is present system now doing? It's making us dependent on the state, on the government. When we have seen the example in 2008, I hope you have noticed that there is a world recession of economic crisis. But I am proudly say that India is safe in that, because we are not dependent on the government. Still we are having our family values, still we are using our family savings, which saved us from 2008 big financial recession. So the indigenous knowledge system help us in it. And thirdly, what about the indigenous knowledge? The present system is what we are seeing that making us to fight. Everyone is fighting for money, property, land, everything. But what we in indigenous knowledge are taught, that we are taught about the sacrifices which our leaders made for the country. So sacrifices are very important, not the people who are just having good business and earning for themselves, but not for the society. That's why in India we used to tell a story of the people who have sacrificed their life for the country, and still, like our Prime Minister is one of our great example for us. He has sacrificed, he devoted all his life for the country. So sacrifice is very important. Present system, what we see that the present education system is making the illusion about what? Illusion about indigenous knowledge system. They are trying to change the basic definition of enjoyment, sacrifices, which are told through indigenous knowledge system. This very illusion forcing our family to focus more on individual goods rather than family at large. And if they succeed in making this illusion, I hope that the day will not be far when people will laugh on those who will talk about emotion, love, family and everything. So what is the present difference between the present education system and our indigenous education system. What we see, the present system is totally based on globalization, marketization, liberalization policy. For them, everything is market. People, you are a consumer, the world is a market and they want to trade. There is no value for family, no value for emotion and nothing. I'll give you one example. There are around more than 3 times vehicles, car in the US as compared to they have driver. Like they don't have driver to drive the car. So, but the marketization policy, which is trying to push the company to sell more car, more TVs, more everything, so that their GDP become the main criteria for enjoyment and development. But the indigenous system never supported. Every knowledge system has its roots, its own roots from it derived. India's indigenous knowledge system find its root from these things. From where Indian indigenous knowledge system find its root, there are some examples. If I make it large. Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, these are the books, these are the reservoir of our knowledge system. The second is ancient Indian Gurukul system for our education and learning. System for democracy and governance. How the system, indigenous system of democracy, indigenous system of governance. Right now we are all following mainly presidential form of government or prime minister form of government. But how indigenous way of democracy and governance and work we can find from Indian perspective. System of nature and health. Yoga is right from India only, and we have known that 21st June it is accepted by all over the world. So this is from nature and health. From system of medicine, Ayurveda, India's indigenous medical science. Some people have talked about medical, they have learned, they have read about it. So what we say, the father of surgery is from India. He is Sasur, if you have heard of it. And the Vedic mathematics and Sanskrit as a scientific knowledge for the world. Now, research has proved that Sanskrit is now most scientific language in all these languages. Now I'll talk about ancient Indian Gurukul system. What basically this system works. Right now I'll tell you I am a product of present education system. But I'll tell you that how this present system is contrary to the Indianness of why we should need to develop a philosophical, cultural tradition of our country. So in ancient Indian Gurukul system, what happened is the life is divided into 4 phases. The first phase is from birth to the age of 25, which is called the Brahmacharya ashram. That in this phase, the person used to learn a period of learning, acquiring knowledge, skill in varied fields, developing moral, ethical values related not only one's personal development but concern for the development of all human beings. That means that his development is centered for the whole of the society, not just for an individual. Besides that, the respect for nature and living in harmony with all creation of God. The emphasis was not the individual, but the developing the individual as per the one's capability for the benefit of whole society. So the focus is on developing the individual so that he can work in the society, not as an individual what he has the capability. The second ashram then the phase starts from 25 to 50 years, that called Grastha ashram, up to the age of 50, where one performs its duty towards its family and society. After that, it follows the Vanaspat ashram, up to the age of 75 years, where one prepared to withdraw from the worldly life, and ultimately the Sannyas ashram, up to the age of 100, where one goes for attaining spirituality and serving the people. For developing a holistic human being, the process started with the Gurukul. And what is this Gurukul? Gurukul is basically means a home of a teacher. That Guru, what we understand, we have to understand the word Guru, how it derived. Guru is made of 2 words, Guru. Gu means a matter of darkness, and Ru means light. That means a teacher which helps you or bring you out from darkness to light. That is called Guru. And Guru was what is the criteria to be a Guru? Then Guru was one who had a mastered different form of knowledge, skill, ethical values. Student from all across the life, from royal children to the person who are poor, who are from low background, they all come to a one place, sit together, study in same class, same day, without any other facilities. So they are called Sishyas, and later the individual was trained from childhood that he is for the society as a whole, and why that he is for the society, and that is why the concept like Pitradam, duty of the father, duty of the mother, duty of a wife, duty of a child, duty of a king, these concepts have derived from the indigenous knowledge system of India. So what is this system, ancient Indian Gurukul system, is contrary to the present education system. Where what happened in ancient Gurukul system, people used to go to the ashram, take knowledge, and after that they used to pay anything which they want to pay to the guru, their teacher. But what we see in present system, where if you want to take admission in the school, you have to pay fees first. So what I am trying to say, the responsibility in the ancient Indian or Indian indigenous knowledge system is on teacher. He has a responsibility to teach the student according to its capability. But what it's today's time, we find that its responsibility is with the student. The student have to, if he want to study, then he can study, teacher have no role. So after this, we have a concept like dharmiyut, like professor had talked about. Like if you are studying the how to fire a gun, how to use a gun, but you are not just learning the weaponry action, but the ethical aspect with it. Like there will be no war after sunset. The unarmed will not be attacked. These are the values which are inculcated to the student in the Gurukul system. After that, they were asked not to, they are also told about the nature, how to respect the nature. They are told that not to, tell me, 5 minutes. Yeah. So just I want to say that they are, because they are taught about nature, they are taught about medicine, because we believe in a Vasudev Kutumbakam, that the whole world is a family. When we are going on a guide told us that this Durban city is set up below the seabed, and we are a fear of tsunami anytime. So who have to think about it? If the South African have to only think about it, or the whole world have to think about it, that what we should do to stop this global warming. We have seen that the Paris climate change is just for maintaining the environment, but we have seen that the so-called developed country has withdrawn from it. But India is already in the part, and India is also having International Solar Alliance, which are for the countries which have direct sunlight maximum time. So there is a conflict as the system came attacked many a time from ancient India, and there are different universities which are destroyed, and you can see it. When I want to talk about only 3 points. First is, earlier people used to talk about IQ. IQ is intelligent quotient, where that if you are in danger, you have to save yourself. But now they talk about emotional quotient. Why? Because they see that when a car is drawn in the water with a father and mother and a disabled child, then what makes the father to save his disabled child without saving his life? So now they are starting talking about this. Education is for accepting diversity, yes, obviously, but what we seen that many foreign scholars from America, Western countries have seen this education is, they have thought like immigration is not good for their country. Like Samuel Huntington had said in the Clash of Civilization that America is losing its identity. But in India, if I talk about, we have 22 official languages, whereas more than 70% speak Hindi, but we have recognized 22 official languages. So education it should be like accepting diversity. How India can guide, if I go ahead, 2 minutes. How India can guide? The philosophy which India always portrayed to the world, like Vasudev Kutumbakam. We believe in the world is the one family. When we say the world is one family, you and I are brothers and sisters. Then why there is conflict? Then why there is war? Why we are trying to capture another country's territory and fighting for it? So indigenous system taught us about this, and India can guide to the world like These. And from government to medical to the environment, we have a philosophy, we have a system which can guide to the world, and India has lots of things to offer to the world. At last, I want to say in my conclusion that I may say that it's my humbleness from borrowing the word from my eternal Vedas and ancient Indian texts about neti neti, which stand for this, neither this nor this. It stands in my opinion that all education system, knowledge, code, discourse are made with an intention, pure and honest to serve the mankind. Only thing that the indigenous knowledge can be adapted for is that none is wrong and all paths are the betterment of human life by balancing it. The mother nature following the fundamental principle of greater good of all and negating the path of greater good of greater number, so as the make obstacle of very thought of exploitation of even one soul of this earth. The very idea of Indian indigenous knowledge system is Matra Bhumi Prato Pitha, which means I am a son of this motherland. The very thought of human and allied relation, which the nature make you aware of your surrounding, be it nature or it will. It make you kind, receptive, humble, adapted towards the other existence of Mother Nature. You tend to have a sense of belonging, and when the better sense prevails, one can consume as per need but never exploit. We are natural resources, animal kingdom, and ever evolving human being. Dhanyavad. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much. So our next speaker is Ms. Ketan Mor. Okay, she is from the University of Durban.